we have Kroeger. And he is ready for questions. Where would like to start? We'll go right here on the left side, third row.
Billy Jones, KCOU Columbia. Kai, I mean, your punting's obviously awesome, but we've also seen you drop some dimes on some fake punts. Curious, how far down the quarterback depth chart are you?
I think it's a very unofficial number, but whatever, I think it'd be, like 6 probably right now, 5 or 6. But I'm definitely ready if they need somebody.
Right side, second row.
Kai, Joe Tessitore was talking on SEC Network the other day and saying Pete Limbo is the best special teams coordinator in the country. What does that look like on a day-in, day-out basis for you guys dealing with him so much, and what makes him such a good coordinator for you guys?
I think it's honestly how much time he puts into it and how much he cares about it. You know, I've been around a lot of people that maybe have pushed special teams to the side, whether it was high school or my first year in college. Maybe it wasn't as much of a focus. But with Coach Limbo and Coach Beamer, they make sure it's a focus, and you've been able to see it impact games as much as it has. So it gives us a lot of confidence that we know that our coaches care so much, and we also see how much he does. I mean, he's in the building, you know, probably more than anybody almost, always scheming up something or asking us what we think about something. So we love that.
Left side, second row.
Yeah, well, what's it like? I mean, you said they have they've shown that it's important, special teams and everything. I mean, I guess it also kind of says that the fact that you're here representing South Carolina Media Days was like being here and representing the school as a punter.
Yeah, it's honestly breathtaking. I'm so grateful to be here. The fact that, you know, Coach Beamer viewed me as somebody that, you know, is a leader of this team means the world to me. And I try to just carry that with myself every day, that, you know, guys will listen to me. I've been here now. This will be my 4th year. So I've seen what not to do, and I've seen what to do. So I try to give my input whenever I can.
Last year, you guys beat Texas A&M for the first time ever. I mean, just what was kind of that like, and how are you looking forward to, you know, playing that one again?
Well, pretty much, obviously we had confidence going into the game, but obviously the opening kickoff, you know, Xavier returns it for a touchdown, and from that moment on, we're just, you know, full steam ahead. But yeah, I didn't realize that we hadn't beaten them since their, you know, entrance in the league. So after hearing that, it's kind of like, you know, wow, it's really a big deal. And, you know, they've beaten us pretty bad in the past, so it's nice to, you know, kind of get back at them. And, like, that's another game where special teams is a big deal.
Go on the road.
Speaking on games where special teams was a big deal, your performance in that Clemson game was unreal. Could you talk us through what that was like? I mean, you just kind of get on a heater in a game like that? Like, is the confidence flowing? Or what's that like for a punter when you're going out there knowing you're going to put it where it needs to be?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, you almost just like want to give it the MJ shrug, right? You know, so many things just go your way. And obviously, you know, I can do my part to control the distance as much as I can and try to hit backspin and such. But it kind of just seemed like every punt would just go exactly where we wanted it and have the right bounce. There were a few of them that maybe were a little bit more like stingers, so I need to get those up more. But yeah, it definitely was an unbelievable game.
Front row.
Guy, we've talked to Coach Lumbo about it, but as a specialist, how has things changed just with players, the perception of wanting to be in that special teams meeting room, say maybe, you know, compared to when you were a freshman back in 2020?
Yeah, it's honestly done a complete 180. You know, I look back at my freshman year, there were guys that maybe were turning the shoulder to special teams or not wanting to be on units, whereas now Coach Lumbo, you know, can't stop guys from coming into his office, asking him if they can be on punt or kickoff return, whatever. And that gives us a lot of confidence as specialists, because we know that, you know, whether it's the guy blocking for me or the guy covering Mitch's kicks, you know, they want to be there 100%, and it's not somebody that's giving half effort.
Right side.
Dan Peck, ESPN 106.7 in Auburn. Are there any other punters or kickers, specialists that you're close to around college football, or guys who have moved on to the league?
Yeah, I'd say we all generally know each other just from high school camps. So I know the Mizzou kicker, Harrison Mevis, we kind of went through the whole ranking camps and stuff together. So we're pretty close. And a lot of casual friends, I'd say, where you talk to them before and after the game. But I don't talk to too many people unless, like I said, it's at a game or a camp, just because, you know, we're across the country.
Front row.
Chris Farble in KCOU 881 FM in Columbia. The SEC recently changed their rules on roughing the punter to where if the punter is at least 5 yards away from where they were standing at the start of the play, there won't be any penalty called. Of course, that's different from the Mizzou Kentucky game last year.
Oh yeah.
I just want to ask, How do you feel about this rule? Do you feel that it's dangerous, or do you think do you think it's better or worse for the sport?
This is my first time hearing about it. I had no idea that was put into play. Obviously, that the instance that we're talking about between Kentucky and Missouri, that was, like it happens once every few seasons maybe, but it's severe. I remember it happened to a Buffalo punter a few years ago who I knew. But I think, obviously, as a punter, I'm trying to look at what we can do to make it safer for us because we are defenseless. And, we do have pads on, but, I'm not the same athlete as pretty much everybody on the football field, even though I try to be sometimes. But, yeah, I think I definitely have to look more into it just to kind of learn more about it. But as long as there's still something in play protecting us, then it should be okay. Because there are freak instances that happen like that where, a punter has to try to make a play because the snap went over his head or something. And so I could see where they're coming from that point.
Right side.
It was an exciting season last year for South Carolina, a couple of really memorable wins. Anything that really stands out, a game that you feel like you'll remember for a long time or you'll be telling people about decades from now?
Yeah, you could probably pick a handful of games, but definitely the Clemson game. Just, we won by 1 point, which I feel like that did it justice almost. But also the rivalry, it's like pure hatred almost. And, I came from a place where there was rivalries, but it wasn't that serious, so I didn't really understand it. And you come here and it's like you do not talk to anybody that wears orange. But, yeah, that game was unbelievable, especially, being able to contribute the way I did was awesome. So that game I'm not going to forget forever, for sure.
Left side.
As a team, what do you feel like contributed to your guys' success overall last year? And then what do you feel like needs to happen to keep that train going this year?
I think it starts with Coach Beamer and kind of the attitude and accountability that he brings to the team. Because once you have guys that are bought in and, it's the little things that you wouldn't think of, showing up on time, parking where they're supposed to, cleaning up their locker. Once that stuff has gotten better every single year, and we've done better every single year. So it's a lot of times the little things that I've noticed, and now more guys are being vocal, being leaders, and it just keeps everyone in check. It keeps everyone focused on the main goal.
Final question, front row.
Last year, DK said that he won media day as far as the outfit. How would you compare yourself? I mean, you're holding it down for the specialists as well. How would you compare yourself, Spencer, and against Tonka?
I'd like to think that, I might have the edge a little bit. I try to spice it up as much as I can. I like, obviously, the pink colors. My guy, Brent Skinner, hooked me up pretty good. But, yeah, I think I can let everyone do the talking, but I'd like to think that I might be up at the top.
Kai, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck this season.